West, y'all.
Speaking of administration problems, let's go straight over to the Rabbitohs, who came in second to last, not the Eels. Bobby, I'll let you take the first go at your son's unfortunate team's demise this year. Most people thought with their roster, Stace, you caught it early in the season, actually. You said even with their roster, they still had problems and wouldn't make the 8. We were shocked. Second to last, man. Yeah. Ollie, your thoughts on these guys?
So the only reason why I even watched any of the Rabbitohs games was because this is Caleb's team. So, you know, they were just outside the 8 last year. This year has probably been even more disappointing, but they've been on a slide since like 2020. Like they've gone from 4th to like 6th to 9th. Now they're 15th or whatever it is. And so for me, they've been super disappointing. I think Jack Whiten coming over from the Raiders thought that Souths were a better chance to play finals footy, and he probably didn't expect when he signed for them that he would be this like shining light player at the end of the season, where everyone's sort of looking to him because people like Latrell's not there. Walker's sort of fallen off and been playing real rubbish. And so Jack Whiten's like, man, if I had known this stuff was happening here, I would have just stayed at the Raiders. But, Rabbitohs have been really disappointing, yes, with their roster. Caleb always points out to me every week, he's like, I don't know why they persist with picking Tana Milne. Like, that guy has like brain fade after brain fade, does really stupid stuff, defensive lapses. That double movement try of his a few weeks back was like brain explosion stupidity. And that's just been the highlight of the year. But I think the biggest thing for me with the Rabbitohs, they lost their coach earlier in the year. Yeah, and so that's just too much noise for the players to sort of deal with. And then you have all of the Latrell show happening throughout the season, which has been a massive distraction for them. And them not having their marquee player who says, on one hand, guys, I'm going to stand down from Origin because I'm going to focus on South because I believe I'm 150% South Sydney. I'm make myself unavailable for State of Origin because I really want to pick up South. And next minute, hey, coach, pick me. I'm here for New South. I was like, of course this guy's at eat ass. He's going to turn up for New South. And then plays, yeah. And then after Origin, like nowhere to be seen. And the form of the Rabbitohs has just sort of followed the decline of Latrell this year, and they've just been super terrible. I don't know where their season's gonna, or where next year's gonna be for them, because they lose quite a few players. Burgess is gone. They lose Cookie to the Dragons. Yeah, I'm not sure what's happening with Latrell next year, whether he's going to come back and want to play rugby league or not. Yeah, it's difficult to see Rabbitohs digging themselves out of this hole that they've dug for themselves over the last few years. Like it's all happened, I don't know whether it was the end of last year or the year before, where they had all that drama around Sam Burgess, who left the coaching staff because he didn't click with players, and just from then on, it's just exploded into this whole sort of, pampered Latrell because he thinks he's a fullback and he wants to play fullback. But we can all see every game that he plays, when you compare him to the top flight fullbacks in the NRL at the moment, the Edwards, the Pongers, the Tommy Turbos, Reece Walsh, like he's nowhere near fullback capability. Like, yes, he's a superstar player, but he's not a fullback. Like, he's drifting in and out defensively. He stands there and watches plays and kicks happening across the field, or he'll catch the ball and pass it. Like, he doesn't return the ball at all. It's like he's conserving energy because he's unfit. So yeah, Rabbitohs has been super disappointing this year. They probably deserve where they ended up. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with them next year.
Well, Roger, you're a Latrell lover. Is Bob a bit harsh on Latrell there, mate?
Oh, I
It's because
think
he won
no.
Origin for us. You've got to put him down, eh?
I think when everything's clicking for Latrell, he's unstoppable, and I think he's got to have everything in check off the field as well to make sure that things are going well for him on the field. But I think all round, Rabbitohs, they had a good spell in the middle of the season, but like Bob mentioned, losing the coach and then all of the off-field stuff, drama with Latrell didn't quite help with their campaign. But Ben Hornby, he did a good job coming in, stepping in for that, and despite all the injuries, they did okay. But for want of better terms, it was quite feeble defence, and the attack was just disjointed somewhat, from what we were expected of and what they were touted to be, because they were tipping to be, in the race for the title this year. Despite missing out, they were close contenders last year for the 8. Because they finished on 30 points and they missed out, and then to see them in 15th place this year, they weren't able to improve. But
I think 16th is a new team. So.
Were they 16th? I've got them 15th, and Eels at 16th.
And Eels points diff in that last game took them.
Oh, for some reason, this article's got them the other way around.
It's a little later, man.
And this one was from, the NRL Premiership and Fox League. Anyway, but yeah, I think, have they got, who have they got? They got Wayne Bennett coming in as well next year, so it could be a good spell for them. Hopefully, is he able to make any changes? Is he able to get the best out of Latrell Mitchell? And then hopefully what they were inconsistent with this year. This guy, Wayne Bennett, we've seen him do some good things over the years with teams, and maybe they can, push higher in that ladder next year.
Stace, you called them early in the season. You saw this coming. I don't know. Did you see any of this playing out with Latrell and everything else, or just the warning signs from the way they were playing?
Yeah, if you remember last year, they were coming first, and then they just fell off a cliff and didn't even make the top 8. And that had never happened before. That I can't remember what round it was, but a team
round 12,
sort of by the halfway point, coming first, falling out, and you could see there was deeper issues at play, because on paper that roster, they had a top 8 roster, which is why a lot of people picked them pre-season to make it. But I thought that Demetrio, look, he struggled to keep everyone in check. I put something on our chat earlier about the injuries. The Rabbitohs did have the most injuries this season, so I thought that was definitely a factor. And I think Bob mentioned it before. They signed Jack Whiten. They picked him to play centre. They had that other skinny Palangi guy who plays right centre, who got injured for the whole year, whose name escapes me right now. And they ended Campbell Graham, right? Campbell Graham. Yeah. And that's when they ended up with Tane Milne and Richie Kennar, and I'm like, holy shit, man. Where's the depth? There's not enough depth there. But just looking at some of the stats, they had the 4th worst attack this season. Don't you think they've got guys like Alex Johnston? He's on track to become the greatest try scorer in NRL history. They've got Latrell, Cody Walker. Scoring points shouldn't really be an issue for a team with that much strike power. So I thought that, they had a lot of issues early on, off-field issues, which plagued them on the field. So on a positive note, I thought, Keon Kaloa-Matangi, he looked good. He played through the middle, through periods of the game, and I thought he was awesome. So hopefully that can continue. And Rog brought up a good point with Wayne Bennett coming through. To me, that's a shining light. That roster is better than second to last, easily. Elite coaching can pull them up, so I think that they'll move up. I don't know if they'll be in the top 8, but they won't. They'll finish higher than second to last. I'll say that.